Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you feeling today? Good. Well, I trust that we're going to allow ourselves to feel even better. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here. And we are here to celebrate love. That's what this is all about. This whole thing called life is, I think, celebrating love. So do you feel like celebrating love today? All right. Well, let's start off with our opening song. Feel free to stand and dance and sing if you like. So big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky and danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, 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 ooh. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, 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 ooh. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright, the sun came out till midnight. I say we lose control. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Everybody's alright, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Yeah. That's a good way to get the blood going early on a Sunday morning. Early, like this is not that early, I don't think, right? Welcome once again, beautiful humans, to our glorious, glorious celebration here today at Unity of Tucson. Like I said, we are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson. We are here to teach practical tools, practical spiritual tools for a better life. And in that, we celebrate all that life has to offer, which is love, light, peace, power, beauty, joy, harmony, wisdom, inspiration, all the goodness. And all that goodness is the expression of a magnificent energy, a one energy that we call God. And we know that that energy is flowing forth into all creation, as all creation. And so let's celebrate that today. Do I wait? If you have a smartphone, one of the things we've been doing recently is we've been using our smartphones. If you're in the sanctuary, I'd love for you to get your smartphone out and go to either YouTube, our channel on YouTube, or our page on Facebook, or onto our website where we are streaming this celebration live. And in the chat function of one of those places, reach out, say hello to everybody who is watching with us live online. And what a grateful heart I have to know that you are joining us here live today. If you are online with us, grateful to know that you are present and accounted for. Yes. Something's going on with me today. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to figure it out. Once you have completed chatting out to the world, then go ahead and turn your ringer off, but you don't have to put your phone away. I don't require that myself. There is one thing that I do like to say each week, and that is that you may not believe everything you hear today. That's okay. Because what we are here at Unity doing is offering a teaching that you get to decide whether or not it works for you. You get to decide your beliefs. One of the things we teach here is that your beliefs are creating your experience. And so what you believe is the way your life is showing up. So part of the exploration is to get in touch with what it is you do believe. So if something doesn't resonate with you today, that's an opportunity to say, hey, something is opening up in awareness for me, and maybe it's something to look at and see if I need to change or not. And that's okay. Whatever you decide to do, it is your decision. This whole thing called life is your decision, so celebrate that today. We do have a vision and a mission that we carry here at Unity of Tucson. And I would love for us to collectively state out loud the words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. The mission is what we do to get there. And so let's state these words of our mission out loud together. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. If you are joining us for the first time today, first of all, if you are online joining us for the first time today, I want to send a special welcome to you and invite you to go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there, and we will be sure to continue this connection. If you are in the room here today joining us for the first time, if you are comfortable with identifying yourself, we would love to pour some love on you. So if you are comfortable with identifying yourself as a first-timer, please stand up. We have a gift for you too. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yes, grateful to have you here. And if you remain standing for just a moment, just remain standing for a moment, because in addition to this gift, I want you to know that we here at Unity of Tucson, we do our research, and we knew that you were coming here today, whether you knew it or not. We knew. And we have found out something about you that we would like to share with all of you. So are we ready to let them know what we found out? Yes. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us here and shining your light. Welcome. Now, I think it's important to know that that research that we do into you is actually research we do into ourselves. And we recognize that you are a reflection of us. And so we are all reflections of each other. So your magnificence is a reflection of our magnificence. And what I would love for us to do is state for the record what we know about ourselves. Here it is. I am magnificent. How does that feel? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Would you please welcome today's Keeper of the Flames, who's joined us here on stage. This is Mary Alls, and she is here to guide us. Yes. Mary is here to guide us through our ceremony, this ritual that we have adopted here at Unity of Tucson, called Lighting the Flames of Faith. In this ceremony, we are acknowledging that all faith traditions, all religions, all spiritual ideologies are all rooted in one thing. And what we hold in our hearts is that they're all rooted in love. So let us understand that for each candle that we light here today.
Good morning. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light is for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Isn't it magic? I just flip a little switch and we light the world. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by the sacred law. See? We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths, and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light this final candle to represent healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Mary. Well, this is awkward. This candle here is the peace candle, which I think the batteries have run out on. Normally we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated as a reflection of the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we understand that peace in our hearts being consistent and allowing it to inform our thoughts, our deeds, our actions, our intentions, we, each and every one of us, create a more peaceful world. And so let us honor this candle and the nature of peace by saying together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. I knew there was something for me that was like, I should have looked over. That would have been my answer, I think. Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
We're off the rails today.
I know we are.
Yeah, it's good.
We're going off the rail, aren't we?
I love it.
You know what's coming.
Yeah. This is Sherry Hoffman. She is one of our magnificent prayer chaplains. Yes, welcome, Sherry. And Sherry is here to share a reading with us, also lead us in our affirmation, and offer a prayer for us today. Sherry Hoffman.
Hi. I joke because I am kind of going out of the norm with my reading today. So I want to introduce the author here a little bit. Some of you may know, some of you may not. The author of today's reading was an English writer, speaker, self-stylized philosophical entertainer, known for interpreting and popularizing Japanese, Chinese, and Indian traditions of Buddhist, Taoist, Hindu philosophy for the Western America. Some of its influencers were Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell. He influenced the likes of Allen Ginsberg and Jerry Schneider. Today's reading is by Alan Watts and came from the book. See, I get nervous when I'm up here. It comes from the book on the taboo about knowing who you are. All right. In some circles, there is a strong taboo on religion, even in circles where people go to church and read the Bible. Here, religion is one's own private business. It is bad form or uncool to talk or give about or argue about a very bad indeed to make a big show of piety. Yet, when you get into the inside of almost any standard brand religion, you wonder what on earth the hush was about. the good book, that fascinating anthology of ancient wisdom, history, and fable, which has for so long been treated as a sacred cow. That it might be locked up for a century or two so that when men could hear it with clean ears. There are indeed secrets in the Bible, and some very subversive ones, but they are all so muffled up in complication, in archaic symbols and ways of thinking, that Christianity has become incredibly difficult to explain to a modern person. The standard brand religions, whether Jewish, Christian, Mohammedan, Hindu, or Buddhist, are as now practiced like exhausted minds, very hard to dig. With some expectations, not so easily found, their ideas about man and the world, their imagery, their rights, and their notions of the good life don't seem to fit in with the universe as we know it, or with the human world. That is changing so rapidly that much of one learns in school already is obsolete on graduation day. All right, now I'm going to read this month's fabulous affirmation, and then let's let it absorb into us for a moment and then read it together a couple times. Boldly, I commit to a deeper willingness to shine my light. Shall we say that together? Boldly, I commit to a deeper willingness to shine my light. Let's try that one more time. Boldly, I commit to a deeper willingness to shine my light.
I want to invite you all to take just a moment and look at the faces of others who are in this room here with you. And if you're online, if you're with someone, take a look at their face right now. Just settle into a recognition of the God essence that exists in its fullness wherever we are. It is reflected in the faces of every single person we encounter.
One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family, we all are one.
As I take a moment to absorb this beautiful energy that is being created in this moment, that is always being created in every moment, I acknowledge that there is one God, one omnipresent source energy that is flowing through. I am that God source energy. I am that omnipresence. And as I look out at all of us that are gathered here today, I acknowledge that each and every one of us is also that God source energy. I am so grateful to have this beautiful place to gather with all of you in this moment of acknowledgement of the gratitude and beauty of this love that surrounds us and flows through me at all times. I know that this moment and going forth, that as I fully embrace this energy and love and God that is me, I can go forth into this day and shine bright, boldly. And I affirm this by saying, and so it is.
one people, living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. We all are one. We all are one.
Thank you, Sherry.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone. Joshua, Raphael. Oh, I don't need to put this away yet. How are you today?
Good.
I'm just changing it up in the way I do these things anymore. Yeah. It's good to see you, Alex.
It's good to see you.
Alexander Lionheart is a magnificent presence in our community who loves to, I assume he loves to, he says to me that he loves to share his gift with our community, and I'm deeply grateful that he's offered to share this gift with us today. And he invited me to sing along with him. So we're going to offer this magnificent featured song today, and that's the only way I'm going to introduce it. Okay.
Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like the summer birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe, somehow you will. Now you will when you believe. You will when you believe.
Alexander Lionheart. Thank you. We were rehearsing yesterday, and I just turned to him. I said, I love singing with you. It's so much fun. Today I'm actually going to start with some of the lyrics from the song. That song is from the animated film Prince of Egypt. And the lyrics and the music were written by one of my favorite composers in the musical theater realm, which is Stephen Schwartz, who also wrote Wicked, and he wrote Godspell, and he wrote Pippin, and very prolific composer, lyricist. Let's just start with these lyrics. Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. Now, we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we could. I was brought up, glasses come off. I was brought up unchurched. And what that means is I was not brought up in a particular religion. I didn't go to church on Sundays growing up. It was just not part of my upbringing. It was not part of my family's paradigm. And it is not lost on me that I still felt in my heart that there was a path to deeper understanding that perhaps could be found through a practice of prayer without any proof. So what is something we believe without proof? It's called faith, right? And so I think about many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. There was nothing that I had ever been told that said, oh, if you pray, then somebody's going to hear and somebody's going to bestow blessings upon you, except what I heard from people around me. In our hearts, I love this lyric, in our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. In some ways, I think that is a real deepened understanding of what prayer can be. You know, I'm teaching a prayer class on Thursdays right now, and it's enlightening. I think it's pushing some buttons because we do teach prayer in a very different way than is traditionally taught in terms of the focus of our prayer. How we pray in the New Thought movement is different than how it is understood, prayer is understood in traditional constructions of religion. Because we do not pray to something outside the self. What we are praying, well, we're not praying to anything. I was going to say what we're praying to, is ourselves. We're not praying to anything, though. So let's take the to out of it and let us deepen into understand and to perhaps an understanding that as we pray, it is not even a hopeful song, but a faithful song. That it is a prayer of understanding as this divine presence and power. That we are praying as God, not to God. That's a challenge for some people because there is great comfort in feeling like there is a God out there that has your back, right? And then you come into a New Thought church and we're like, there's no God out there. What do I do? But God was supposed to take care of me, right? Anyone challenged by that? You don't have to raise your hand or anything. But what it leads me to is realizing that the power for changing my life is here. It's not rooted out there. And so there is nothing to fear. Even though I can look out there, as the lyric says, now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We can look out there and go, oh my gosh, there's so much to fear. But fundamental to the teaching, when we say our mission is love only, and I point up there because that's where it always shows up, even though it's not up there now. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. When we know who we are, when we remember who we are, what have we to fear? What I have found is deepening into that practice, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. I can get very easily lost in that stuff out there. But, the lyric continues, we were moving mountains long before we knew we could. And you know what that says to me? Everything that I've learned to fear was taught. It was learned. When I was a child, with abandon, I would live life. I was moving mountains before I knew I could. Before I was convinced that I couldn't, I was moving mountains. Think about that. How many of you resonate with this idea that perhaps learning what we thought we needed to learn may have been a disservice? Again, rhetorical question, no hands. I don't want to see any hands. Just something to consider. One of the foundational philosophers, writers, lecturers in New Thought was a man named Thomas Troward. And Thomas Troward comes along a little bit after the development of Unity. So in Unity, he doesn't get talked about very much, but he is one of my favorites. I love Thomas Troward. Just love Thomas Troward. And I love to teach Thomas Troward. And so someday, maybe next summer, I'll teach Thomas Troward. No, actually, next summer I'm doing Emerson. I already decided that. Troward said something like this. Actually, he did say it. It's a quote. Sorry. Spirit, that's God. Spirit, the infinite energy and the infinite creative energy of the universe. Spirit creates by self-contemplation. So everything that exists, all form, all matter, all time, all experience, all circumstance, everything that exists in the physical world is flowing forth because of the self-contemplation of the infinite power and energy that we call spirit or God or universal wholeness, whatever words we choose to apply to it. Spirit creates by self-contemplation. Therefore, what it contemplates itself as being, that it becomes. So spirit consciously thought, I will be a piano. I will be a speaker. I will be a candle that went out again. But we are the light of peace in our hearts. It doesn't matter if the candle's lit or not. So what it contemplates as being, that it becomes. Now here's the next part of that. You, me, all of us, we are individualized spirit. We are the individualization of the infinite power and presence that we call God. You are individualized spirit. Therefore, what you contemplate yourself as being, that you become. So what are you contemplating yourself into being?
Magnificent.
There you go. And why not? You know, I am here to normalize our understanding of our self-magnificence. That's why every single time you will hear me on a Sunday say, you are magnificent, I am magnificent, we are magnificent. Because how can we be anything but if we know who we are? When we remember that we are the infinite power and presence, that we are the love, the light, the power, the life, the beauty, the joy, the wisdom, and the harmony of this infinite divine power, how can we understand anything other than we are magnificent? We are magnificent. So what are you contemplating yourself into being? Because I'll tell you, I see a lot of people contemplating themselves into being less than. I see it all over the place. And I'm not going to fault them for it. You don't know until you know, right? You don't know until you know. I didn't know until I knew. And the adoption of this philosophy in my life and the engagement of consistent spiritual practice in my life has made my life better because I have put energy into contemplating what I want to become. And it doesn't need to be exhausting. It doesn't need to be hard work, although it will be work until it's not. I'm not going to you, William, today. It will be work until it's not, because here's part of that self-contemplation. As we contemplate consistently, we create new habits of thought. And those habits of thought become the consistent self-contemplation that is showing up as the construct of our lives. And so we don't need to work so darn hard at it anymore. In Wednesday's class, and I want to honor with deep appreciation, Susan Smith, our licensed Unity teacher. Is Susan here today? I haven't seen Susan. She is teaching the Metaphysics 1 curriculum that is provided by Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute. And the students in that class are engaged with it in a really magnificent way. And she is teaching, I think, some of the hardest concepts that we have to offer. And she's putting them in clear and concise terms and inviting the questions so that the students can get clear. Well, she did this thing on Wednesday night that really opened me up, because I sit in on the class, and it opened me up, and I thought, oh, this is a great way of understanding. So she goes to the board in the class, and she writes, I have to do it this way. She writes on one side of the board, absolute. Absolute. And then on the other side of the board, she wrote relative, because we're going to do some comparing and contrasting. That there is the absolute and there is the relative. The absolute is the infinite power and presence that we call God. Okay? So you're getting a little lesson here. The absolute is that. The relative is the construction of that essence in form related to time and space. Okay? So, under the absolute side, she invited the class to offer some adjectives and some descriptors of what the absolute is. And some of the things they came up with is the absolute is permanent, it is principle, it is oneness, it is unchanging, it is infinite. Does that sound about right? Yeah. The relative is temporary, temporal, related to time. So it can be here now, and it may not be here 5 minutes from now. So the relative is temporary. The relative is rooted in what we consider to be facts. Now people will say, but aren't facts absolute? No. It was a fact that the earth was flat until it wasn't. Think about it. So facts. The relative is rooted in constructs of ideas of separation and duality or polarity or multiplicity. Separation, right? It is changeable. The relative is evolving. The relative is expressing in finite ways rather than infinite ways. And so we have this dichotomy, because here's the thing, it's all God. It's all God. Because there can be nothing separate from the infinite, even if the infinite is expressing itself in finite ways. You still with me? Okay, because it's whoosh for some of these people, right? I get it. Finite, infinite. And then I said, oh, but you know what we need to do? I invited us to do this in class. I said, write the word identity right down the middle between the absolute and the relative. Because our identity is the direction we decide to look in. We can construct our lives and the expression and experience of our lives by either relating ourselves to the absolute and letting that define our identity, or defining our identity by looking at the relative. A lot of people are really weighted on looking at the relative, to think that that has power in their lives. To think that discord and disharmony and challenge, which are all aspects of the relative, have power in their lives. And what we invite everyone in this movement to do is to begin to say, while I recognize that, I'm not going to deny that those are experiences. Those experiences do not have power, because the power resides in defining my identity with the absolute. To know who I am, to remember who I am. In remembering who you are, how can you do anything other than live a life of love and joy and harmony? Thomas Troward said that the only purpose in life is joy. How's that working for us? There are times in my life when I do not feel a sense of joy. So I'm going to let you all off the hook. If there are times in your life you don't feel a sense of joy, it's okay. Because here's the thing, usually that's related to me looking at the relative and aligning and defining myself based on the relative. And how I move back to joy is to turn around and look at the absolute. Now, many of us are in a balancing act all the time of, Sometimes I look over here, and sometimes I look over here, and sometimes I look over here, and sometimes I look over here. But here's the thing that we can do. Through practice, we can find ourselves looking this direction towards the absolute more frequently. Contemplating ourselves as that, and allowing that to then become what we are and how we express. Because that which we contemplate, whether it be the absolute or the relative, becomes the thing we are. So what will you choose today? There are miracles when you believe. Going back to the song, the lyrics of the song. There are miracles when you believe. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? The belief is saying, I refute any sense of power in the relative, and I turn myself to the absolute, for this is how I choose to believe. You get to decide that, by the way. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But what works for me, what I have found in this teaching, is that as I place my focus on that, I experience what many people might call miracles. But when you understand miracles as simply the outflow of self-contemplation, then there is nothing miraculous about them. They become ordinary. So, who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will understand that when you believe. This is all activated by this month's power of willingness, which has been the focus. The power of willingness has been the focus this month. Your word is the most powerful force in your life. Your word. Now, word, and I'm going to invite us not to take that statement for granted, that your word is the most powerful force in your life, because your word is the agency. It is the agency by which Spirit, the absolute God essence that is you, is revealed in your expression. The agency, that action to produce an effect, that's what your word is. What you do, what you say, what you think, what you believe, what you feel, all about yourself and your relationship to others, this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in your experience. What you do, what you say, what you think, what you believe, and what you feel about yourself and about your relationship to others is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what will you bring into being? More love, more wisdom, more heart, more light? There's nothing keeping you from that except perhaps a belief that you are kept from it. You are the infinite power and presence. You are magnificence, expressing and evolving and flowing forth in creation all the time, no matter what, ceaselessly, whether you know it or not. A lot of people walk through life not knowing that. But as you come to know it, activate it. And the guidance that exists in understanding this, what it is you're creating, is rooted in feeling. It's rooted in feeling. And your feeling is exponentially affecting the way your life unfolds. So I'm going to invite us all to own today, to take ownership. And when I say ownership, I don't mean blame. I mean having the capacity and the ability to respond to what it is we create in the relative. Own what you create in the relative. Own it. And know that you are empowered to change it if you would like to change it. That there is nothing standing in the way of you changing your expression and experience of life, except perhaps you standing in the way of your own desire to change your expression of life. When we fall off, we call that self-inflicted nonsense or sin. It's missing the mark. And that's okay. It happens. Because here's the thing. Once you recognize it, own it, and know that you can change it. Now, you can't change the past, but you can create from this point moving forward. You can create magnificence in every aspect of your being from this point moving forward. Directing the focus to identify with the absolute. That's why I had to put absolute over here, because I knew I would remember that the absolute was on stage left. Directing the focus to identify with the absolute. Allowing loving kindness to be the point of view expands the possibilities. Fear and limitation and upset and discord limits the possibilities. Which direction will you look today? Simple? It's a simple concept. I'm going to either look over here or I'm going to look over here. What am I going to decide to do today? Not always easy, because I'll tell you what, that has such a pull, doesn't it? That has a real strong pull. Oh, we want to get wrapped up in all the stuff. When you feel yourself pulled in that direction, take a step back, take a breath, and say, I see you. I recognize. Hi, Linda. I see. You're not, by the way, this is not meant to be any kind of metaphor about our musical team. The dangers of putting things in places. There is nothing that exists that cannot be changed by you. Are you willing to change it? Are you willing to say, I realize the gravity of the stuff that pull, and say, I do not need to experience that. I am turning myself around. It's like the song, turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit long. Turn around. That's where the light is. That's where the shadow is, and you're the one casting it. Are you looking towards the shadow or looking towards the light? We are using our word constantly to create our life experience, whether in a healthy way that is rooted in wholeness or in a way that is damaging and detrimental. You get to decide. You get to decide. What are you going to do? It's up to you. Direct your focus. Take the time, allow yourself the opportunity and the energy to direct your focus. Let it be absolute, and see the relative take shape based on the direction you are looking. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. The homework this week, and if you are new to our community, I give homework every week. And the reason I give homework is because we do invite people to utilize the practice practically. It is a practical philosophy, and we're inviting people to actually practice the philosophy. So the homework this week, and some of you will have heard something like this before, and I look to William because this threw William on a spin once when I gave a homework similar to this. The homework this week is to say yes to everything. I know Marvis is like, you're giving this homework assignment again? I'm changing it up a little bit. Say yes to everything, but realize when you are saying yes if the feeling is off. Take some time to engage in awareness of how you are feeling. Remember, I said feeling is the thing. That's the thing that changes. That's the thing that changes your experience. If the feeling is off, then change to a new yes. And if the feeling isn't off, if the feeling is on, then proceed. But utilize this practice to direct your focus. Make sense? Okay. Yes, I got a thumbs up from Marvis, so we're good. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. Just allow ourselves the luxury of reflection to see if there's any kernel of truth that has resonated with our heart that we get to take away today. It may not have been everything, but it may have been one idea that we get to step into the next experience of our life with and know that it blesses our life. Just allow ourselves that opportunity.
When I forget we are one, I regret things that I've done. I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Right here in this moment, I root myself in an assured knowledge that there is an infinite power and presence, and that is all there is. This magnificent creative energy, this principle, this universal spirit force, this life energy that we call God, it is the only thing that exists, and we are, each and every one of us, aspects of that wholeness. We are the light, we are the life, we are the love, we are the infinite power and presence of divine energy at the level of our understanding and expression of it. And so I call upon a deeper realization of our awareness, to know this truth, to know the love, to know the light, and to know the life more magnificently now than ever before, and to know that this informs the expression and experience and the flow of our life. I know that we are rooted in, and I affirm that we are rooted in love, love only. I affirm that we are rooted in a deep, deep practice of forgiving everything. And I know that we know who we are. We know who we are. And it's with gratitude overflowing from within that I allow the pure unfoldment of this magnificence to take hold and become the construct of our lives. I do it with a grateful heart. I release, let go, allow, and know. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. If things go wrong and my way seems dark, and if I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
Thank you. Thank you. Will you please welcome to the platform, the stage, the treasurer on our board of directors, Mr. Steve Ross. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Good morning, spiritual family. So, time for my 2-minute treasurer's report, I guess. I get to do this once a month. Let's see, July. It's month 7. It followed our historical patterns that we've always seen. Income was less than expenses for the month because all the people who get out of Tucson for the summer. But that's okay. We understand that, and and we calculate the budget accordingly. So where are we against the budget, you may ask? So expenses, 9,000 under budget year to date. Income, 7,000 over budget year to date. So we're in a good position. All right. So now that you know we're in a good position, I still got to ask for more resources, you know. So we want this community to grow and get a growing community and growing service. We, of course, need more resources all the time. So let's speak aloud our conscious giving statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me, and it is so.
Yes, as the baskets go around, we'll sing our giving song. Feel free to move your body.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Sing that.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. I know it's high.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
And it
Returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly.
Oh,
circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
one more time. I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love.
I circulate my love. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly.
I love that song. I just love to dance to and sing it. This is Deborah Roberts, one of our other prayer chaplains. She is here to bless the offering. Thank you so much, Deborah.
I affirm the God source energy from your divine hands to these inspired gifts. I know this prosperity is infused with magnificent loving kindness and now prospers all that is ours to do. With abundant gratitude, I know and release this word as magnificent and joyful in all that comes forward. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I want to let you know that we are anticipating Unity's World Day of Prayer, which is going to be on Wednesday, September 7th. There is an online experience that you can join. In your seat back pocket is some information on that, but also on that sheet, if you want to grab a sheet, you can submit your prayer list by listing names of people for whom you would like us to engage in prayer. What will happen is we will be collecting this list for the next couple weeks leading up to the Sunday service on September 4th. On September 4th, we will do a public blessing and a prayer over all the names that we have collected, and those names will then also be sent to the Unity Prayer Ministry. Silent Unity, where they will be part of the World Day of Prayer celebration. So please feel free to take take the form, fill it out, and then slip it into the prayer box, which is in the foyer, in the lobby. If you are online and would like to submit names to this prayer list, send an email with those names to prayer@unitytucson.com, and we will be sure to include them on this list as well. So grateful that we get to engage in this prayer practice on behalf of our community and to share this with the world. It's one of the great things I think we do here, right? Yes. We do have our magnificent celebration coming up on September 30th. Hey! We're going to do a dinner gala and silent auction on September 30th. We would love for all of you to be present with us. At last count, you know what? There were only 21 available seats left. So if you've not bought your ticket to come to the gala, please make sure that you buy your ticket. You can do that in the bookstore, or if you are online, you can buy them. There's a link right on our homepage, right online at unitytucson.com. We are also collecting items for the silent auction. If you have any leads on anyone that we can approach, or have any items that you would like to contribute to the silent auction yourself, please bring them here or let us know. You can speak to Sherry Bolin, who is in the back there. She is waving her hand. If you are online, you can reach out to the office by calling us during our regular office hours, and we can help facilitate collecting those items for the silent auction. I've seen some of the stuff. It's awesome. I'm super excited for it. Today's prayer chaplains in service, you have seen them both, are Sherry Hoffman and Deborah Roberts. After the service, if you would like a moment of prayer, they will be situated on either side of the sanctuary and in the middle of the room, and you can approach them for what we call the 1-minute miracle. Just a brief moment to say, hey, here's what's going on. They will then offer a prayer around what it is that you're experiencing. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today's magnificent experience so much fun for me. I don't know if you had fun, but I did. And you know what? We get to have more fun too. After the service, a lot of us go over to Harmony Hall for coffee and conversation. So if that speaks to you, please join with us in social time following the service. Harmony Hall, when you go out these doors, is to the right. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible, though, to our magnificent technical crew, Don and Jim and Rowan. Thank you for your service. I would like to say thank you to Steve as our board member on duty today for guiding us in our offering. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give a shout out, because we don't always do this, but to Ross and to William. They hand out the bags at the beginning of the service, and I'm so grateful for you helping out there as well. Our prayer chaplains, thank you so much, Sherry and Deborah, for your celebrating and for your magnificent meditation. Okay, I need to let you know, there were like 5 people in meditation this morning? If you are able to be here for meditation, it is an exquisite experience. And Deborah's meditation this morning was spectacular. So if you would like to be here at 9:30 before the service to engage in about 10 minutes of contemplative meditation, we would love to have you. I look forward to it every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Alls, thank you for your participation as our keeper of the flames today. Let's give it up for Alexander Lionheart, our magnificent guest today. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me have the honor of singing with you. It's always a joy. And of course, our magnificent band, Linda and Joshua and Raphael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there's somebody, you know, when I was studying ministry, I was the administrator for my church, and sometimes it felt like I was forgotten. But because I see him standing back there, and he's very uncomfortable with this, I can already tell. Stay in here. Let's give it up for our administrator, Tyler Pierce. And I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you here in the room, online. Thank you for being here, not just here at Unity, but in this thing called life. You are magnificent, and I'm deeply grateful for you every day. As we complete our time here, let us share together this prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. We're going to end the day with a closing song. Feel free to stand and dance and sing along.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason
Why I'm feeling so high must be the season when the love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, it's a reason.
There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights. There's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let the wonder take you into space, and there you wonder. This love and embrace, feel this wonder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Well, let your love fly like a bird on the wing. Let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Let your love flow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Yes, let your love fly like a bird on the wing. Let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. And let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Yes, let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.